but when we brake for this braking point, the air dam should help us a lot. So normal braking point is about here. And, you know, it seemingly hasn't helped, but you know what? This is also actually technically a different wing. This is the Scintilla, and it has an active wing. So then when you're going fast, the wing will come up. When you want to slow down, it'll put up an air brake, and all to help you gain as much speed as possible. And this is a race version of the Scintilla, and it has a fixed wing. And that's raised a little bit of a question. Why don't race cars have active wings? I know it's a safety thing, just ignore that. Instead, let's go from the angle of maybe it's that the wings aren't active enough. Well, this is the Zenvo, and they took the active wing to the complete extreme, and I think this thing is pretty darn freaking cool. So I have a plan. I'm going to try to add something like the Zenvo Wing into BeamNG and just see how good it is. First things first though, we've got to take this thing for a baseline run around the track. My choice for today is the West Coast Racetrack. Got some two-step on apparently, and forgot to put it in gear, that's fine. Oh, I have ESC on. I wonder if that's going to affect my time too much. I probably should turn that off. Anyway, braking down into the first corner, getting it nice and smoothly through the first corner. A little bit of frame lag there, but that's fine. Didn't hurt us too much. It wasn't under braking. Then coming around and ease on that throttle, because you do not want this thing to be treated too brutally. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there, that's fine. Can't brake and turn at the same time in this car. It will bite your head off. Oh, didn't want to get turned there. This exit is a lot more important, so I compromised the exit of the first of the chicanes there. This is always a little bit tricky. There's just not enough downforce on this car, so my trial run is not going to have a huge amount of like downforce that you would expect on a car like this. I've even tried to dip the nose down and raise the rear up so then the thing will have its back end up in the air, which will turn the whole body kind of into a wing, but also add a little bit more angle to the rear wing. Oh my god, what just happened? Okay, you know, also wasn't ready for the chicane on the straight. I didn't realize I had that one on. And across the line in a 1:49.5, and I don't know why the timer is still going. Maybe I set it to do 2 laps. Now, I'm gonna write down a small little prediction for this episode, and I'm going to seal that up so then people can find out what my prediction was at the end. So, where do we start with this project? Well, the first thing we're going to want to do is take the Scintilla's files. Then I have to modify this. I don't like to 3D model. Luckily, I think this is all we really need to do. I've just done a little bit of fudging of things. I moved this joiner into the middle, then rotated these around. So the only thing I need to do is export these 3 bits, and then this and this can stay the same. That's just weird, but whatever. And perfect. I mean, maybe not perfect, but pretty darn close. And what we're using at the moment is an adjustable wing, so I could theoretically just go in and adjust this every single time I want to make an adjustment, if I can find out where that is. Ah, perfect, right here. So currently it's at like 12 degrees. If I set that to 20, you'll see that this should move up just a little bit. Fantastic. Except one thing. It resets the car every single time. So you're not going to come up to a corner, then stop, just the wing, have the vehicle reset in place, and then take the corner. Kind of defeats the purpose. And that leaves me with lower. Oh, how much I hate lower. Now, I'm not going to do it the complicated way, and let me show you an example. This is all to make the normal active wing in BeamNG to work. There's a lot here, and it seems to talk in circles, and some things don't connect with themselves. I don't know how really most of this works. It's mind-numbingly annoying. I don't get it. But we only need to do a few little things. We need to be able to tell if we're braking, maybe speed if I can figure out how to make that work, and then the steering angle, so then I can get it to adjust when turning. I'm not going to do anything really extravagant like the real Zenvo, because that will also take in your geometry or weight distribution on the wheels. I don't want to go that in depth because I'm not sure I will know how to, because not only is it attached to steering, but if there's more weight that shifts for some sort of reason, it'll adjust more over, so then it'll move the weight back into the middle. Once we're here, let's also have a look at the formation of the wing. Okay, I think I can make that work, but I'm also going to have to undo the adjustability at the moment. So apparently it connects SP2PR Z4SP, yeah, numbers. So it connects this SP2L, no, yeah, to SP2L, which is this, and the adjustable rear connects to the SP4L. There we go, perfect. I was worried that this was going to not be strong enough to hold it, but it looks like it's doing all right. So let's take you and delete you. Yeah, I know, weird, right? But we're gonna get there, so don't worry. And now if we refresh the car, it should fall down. No? Okay, apparently it doesn't want to fall down. Where are there more? Okay, so there are some more beams going downwards. We are going to have to pay attention to them. There is one that goes all the way down to 2 wing 0. Alright, I'll keep that in mind, but I don't think we need to be too concerned with that, because as you can see, it is still very easy to move. And instead, we're gonna grab ourselves some Hydra stuff from the BeamNG website and plop you in here. We also don't need the variable section, so that can go away, and put the new values in. Realize that this is set up for steering and not for what we're doing, which, you know, actually, I could just use steering and just use the Hydras that way, but I also want it for braking. So if I have these hydro values set to just steering, we're not going to have both options. So instead, we're going to grab this and put you in. Then we're going to have to create ourselves a new lure file. I am going to start with a lure from my camper vehicle because I know how that one works. And we're going to delete things we don't need. So just keep with just the simple ones to start with, and then start racking my brain, because I did a little bit of research on this before I started into this, and I even went into a little bit of ChatGPT, a very helpful resource, though I don't know if it's quite perfect for what we're doing. It did help me understand quite a bit about at least the basics of Lua. I've done a little bit of fiddling here. We've renamed things to be correct. I've gotten rid of some public interface sort of things because we don't actually have controllers here. And then this is the big one I've changed. The input value is going to be equal to the steering input, and the electric value, I don't know if this is going to work very well. Now, with all of this information up, let's go Control L to see if the game is going to bug out when I reload the lure. Please be nice to me. Okay, yep, things are going fine. Let's drive forward. Steering input does nothing. Brake input does nothing. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. What if I grab this and instead put that there, get rid of you, don't think I need you, save you, reload the lure, and see if steering, no, brake, no. Oh my god. I've only been going for maybe like 15 minutes, and I've already got something happen. Okay, well, it's broken, but I've already got something happening. Whoa! The lure so far is actually incredibly simple. So I've had to separate Zeno left and Zeno R. Now the reason why I'm going left and right is because I realized that if I was just controlling both of them with the same controller, I wouldn't be able to have it tilt. It would be doing both the same. I could set one to negative and one to positive, so then it would just go like that in the J-beam section, but then it wouldn't do both under braking, so I've had to break that up a bit. Let's now just quickly go in, duplicate this, change this to R, save that, refresh here, then okay, well, there's broken one side. Let's get rid of that messiness and have a bit of a look. So that one does extend. You know what, actually, hold on, let's bring that back. That is the right side, and then the left side isn't moving now. What the hell? Let's undo creating that side. And let's see, okay, this is affecting only the left side at the moment. And I'm also, yeah, I don't want it to go to negatives. So what we're gonna do quickly is do a, math.min is in brackets, 1 or that. No, math max? Then end that bracket. And bugger. Math min. Now if we steer, damn it, it still does go negative. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. Haha! I figured it out! So now if I turn left, it does nothing, but if I turn right, that is actually the wrong way around. But you get the idea. All we have to do is just simply go in here, and then -1, save. And then we want this to turn into the... bugger. Let's go ahead and undo that. So what I did is I did an if statement. So if the if statement says that the steering input is less than 0, because this will go from anywhere from -1 to 1. If it's less than that, then it'll do this. I wonder if this will fix our issue to actually change that to a greater than. Change so that, yeah, that's not working. Go that, yeah. Okay, well, it goes too much negative. Oh, you know what? I've just figured it out. This should be R. There we go. Turn right, it lifts up the right side, so then it's angling in this way, and then that way. Perfect. Let's now go ahead and duplicate this, and then make this Zenvo L. I wonder if they should all be a part of the same, whatever. So that's the wrong way, and that does nothing. Fantastic. What? I wonder if it doesn't want to update. So let's do that. Now if we, okay, well that's, let's go ahead and change you to be the opposite, so then there is actually a difference here. Then turning that way turns it that way, and then turning it that, let's multiply this by -1. Now, perfect and perfect! Fantastic-rinico! Awesome! Now what we're going to need to do is... oh, you know what? Actually, I have an idea. Let's duplicate this and change this to Zenvo R, then change this to here, this to here, then let's put an extra line in here and say that electrics.values Zenvo L is equal to electrics.values Zenvo L last angle. Okay, so what this is going to do is to allow me to have the wing be equal to this, but I can add multiple values to this. So let's also go in and, what are we doing here? Actually, I do know what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and duplicate you, except you're going to be multiples of these. So this is Zenvo last angle. We don't need that. Let's go break angle and create a duplicate of that. That's going to be R. This has to be break input, I believe that's correct. And then this is going to be break input. Then Zenvo L is going to be this plus electric value bracket comma break angle, which I believe, yep, already had it copied. Left and right still work, but let's apply the break. Perfect! And then also with the, okay, so apparently we can only go to a max of 1. I just found out part of the reason why the wing wasn't moving quite the way I wanted it to. And if we turn left and right, now I can see that it's really wonky. That's because the nodes weren't in the middle. I still had the nodes sitting outwards to brace it. But if we turn this back on, yeah, these extra connections to the body seem to be messing it up a little bit. So we're gonna have to get rid of those. Now if we turn and brake and then, oh, there's some sort of weird sticky. Oh, wait, hold on. Yep, okay, I think I know exactly what is happening. This is literally nudging up against this, part of the bodywork. So if we turn that way, it's pushing up against the bodywork. And then if we do that, it flips around, then it gets caught underneath, and then if we let go, So that's a little bit of a problem, but you know what? I'm actually willing to live with that, because at the moment, it's not breaking. So actually, I have a little bit of an extra idea. Let's grab you, then go here and add on something in brackets. This one times 0.1? No, 0.1. Okay, still pressing up against the thing there, and then if we break it, that's just close enough. We have a working Zenvo Wing. Whoa! Yeah, except it's got to be called Zeno on the BeamNG repository because of, like, the BeamNG people don't like to have copyrighted stuff on their repository, which I understand completely. You know, this is a little too cool for me to just go straight and test right now. I'm going to go show other people just how cool this is. But first, I'm going to need you to subscribe. Hey, No Name.
Hello.
Have you heard of the Zenvo vehicle?
Oh, yes.
Guess what?
You made the wing.
I made the wing.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, it's super jank, but I had to show somebody before I go and test it out on my own. And yes, it does rub against its own bodywork and cause issues.
Oh, who cares? This is Zenvo Wing.
Been a while, Rye.
It's been at least a minute.
Do you want to see how far I have progressed in my quest to do silly things in BeamNG?
I think. I'm concerned, but yes.
Have you heard of the Zenvo before?
With the moving wing, yes. I think.
Like this?
Oh, wow. That's actually insane. What the hell?
And the surprising thing is, this has only taken me like 3 hours approximately. Maybe 4.
And it's fully functional?
Yeah, like it'll break.
Jesus.
So if we drive forwards, we brake, it comes up, turn, it works the way. Okay, well, it's BeamNG era, so it's not perfect.
But hey, it looks cool.
Oh, bro.
That's half the battle.
I mean, if it's garbage, as long as it looks cool, nobody cares.
That's all that matters.
All right, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. That's sick as hell, though. That's cool.
Good morning or good evening. I don't know what time you have right now.
It is 1:26 a.m. I've just woken up. Have you heard of the Zenvo?
The Dutch Zenvo.
With the crazy wing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my... No way. You madman. No way.
This took quite a bit of learning, but I finally figured out how to do stuff like this now.
Oh my god. Wait, does the original one also do it by standing still?
Yes,
or
it does.
It just... Okay.
But
does it make any difference in BeamNG?
Yes, but as the real Zenvo, it doesn't actually make the car faster.
That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
Like,
it's actually a physics item. It works properly, yes.
Oh yeah, that's so cool, man. Oh my god.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
How are you, Simulator Adventures?
Fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing well. Have you heard of the Zenvo?
Zenvo. I recognise it. That's like a pretty niche supercar brand,
Thing that
right?
does this?
Oh, that? No, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, you haven't heard of the Zenvo and its wing? Brah. You're gonna love this one.
I didn't know that. What the? Because I know that the Huayra had something similar right at the back, but not the whole spoiler. Oh
Yeah.
my. I don't know about dynamics, but is that going... So that's going to the right, so it's pushing down on the right-hand side of the car.
Yeah, it's pulling the center of force into the middle.
Right,
As
and are
opposed to
they
being out
actually
of the
like
side.
controlled with a... I don't know, like a... What would it be? What's controlling them?
Hydraulics?
Hydraulics, okay. Yeah. It's incredible. And...
I thought you'd be able to appreciate this.
Does it have an impact?
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real physics object.
in the game it does. Okay, my goodness.
Oh, in the game, yes, it is a real object. So it does affect the aerodynamics.
Wow. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, I just wanted to show you that.
Wow. That's incredible. What were you coming with next? Oh my god.
All right, let's try it out in the sim rig. And it seems to be functioning pretty well. It does a little bit of damming for braking. I might maybe make it a little bit more of an aggressive ramp on the braking, because the only reason why you're not braking fully is because the car is unstable. And at the moment, this is feeling okay. So I think... Whoa, hello. Well, that's... Yep. I'm still getting used to this. Driving in third person with a wheel is not my forte. I probably should have kept the controller for this. I think it also needs to tilt a little bit when steering, and I might also put an input to have a key binding that'll toggle between being like high downforce and low downforce version. At the moment we shouldn't have much downforce going through here, but when we brake for this braking point, the air dam should help us a lot. So normal braking point is about here. And, you know, it seemingly hasn't helped, but you know what? This is also actually technically a different wing. So I'm gonna go do another lap with the good normal version of this wing. And a 149. At least this time it's got it recorded. I kind of didn't get it recorded last time. But there we go. We have our baseline, 149. Now, let's switch over to the Zenvo goodiness. After this, I reckon I'm gonna just take it nice and chill around maybe something that's nice and relaxing that I can play on a controller. Let's say the Nordschleifer. Here, we're coming down and we're gonna feel the braking instantly. Feels about the same so far. Braking, turning in. I did brake way too late. This has way too much of a rear brake bias for this thing. It's weird. I can feel the car reacting to my steering in a way that I've never felt before. This is very oh my, okay. I felt that I had more traction going around the corner just then, but then I straightened up my steering because that's what you do. You're going in a straight line, and then suddenly I didn't have the downforce anymore. That was weird. Oh, I'm understeering a little bit there now compared to what I was doing previously. Oh, I'm able to power out massively. Holy cow. And then brake into here. Okay, yeah, that wasn't great. If this is not faster, I will be surprised. Oh, that's amazing. Now, I know that I've got a lot of wing angle, but the wing angle goes away in a straight, so I'm not actually getting the downsides of Mahusive Aero that you would normally expect. Ooh. A little bit sketch there. Brake on the line. Oh, okay. Drifting doesn't work because you're not getting the, like... I meant slip angle doesn't work, because on a slip angle, you're not turning the steering wheel very much, so you can't get the high-speed cornering. This is weird, and I think this is why Zenvo has it so then it measures the compression of each side, so then it knows how to change it. Maybe I'll put in a parameter for yaw as well, so then yaw will act on it as well. I think that's a good way to do it, because I know how to get the electrics value for yaw. Oh, that was weird. I was going to oversteer, but I thought, you know what, maybe if I just turn more, I'll have more wing angle, and I did. So... turning the wheel gives me downforce, which is counterintuitive because turning the wheel will cause more oversteer. That was trippy. And would you look at that? It's basically exactly the same time. So now, have you forgotten? I made a prediction. And here we are. It won't be much different. probably can't read that from that far away in my shitty handwriting and a texture on white paper. The contrast is probably completely blown out. But yeah, so the idea is that when you're cornering, what it's so for instance, we'll have a look. So this is our corner. The weight is going to be loading up on this tire, but much like what you were taught at school, if you half the area but double the pressure of where something is, so basically you're wearing a high heel, you can punch through something on the ground that you wouldn't be able to with a normal foot. So sure, you're loading up that extra tire, but what you're doing is getting more grip from the tire. It's not exactly 100% that, but then in a vacuum, that's basically what's happening. But now let's say that we're cornering left. So now what's happening is we're getting downforce that is pulling us that way, which is then evening out the tire weight distribution, which is basically all this is going to do. Now, you're thinking, well then if we're just keeping it even, we're not really gaining anything here, are we? Well, actually, there is something beneficial kind of here, apart from the fact that the downsides of losing traction when you're going in a straight line out of it, there's some problems there. But if you're going to evenly distribute the weight on the tires at all times, well then what you're getting is even tire wear. And if you're going in a circuit track, like any sort of circuit, unless it's a figure eight of any sort, you're going to be loading up some tires more than others, and it's usually always the outside ones. So this is perfectly evening, oh well, not perfectly, I'm never really perfect, but it is evening it out a lot. But let's just see what it's like to just drive around casually like with a controller. I've got to say, this is something I've been looking to make for the longest time, but I had been really daunted by the lure, and then I was just futzing around with the lure. I was trying to learn it, wrap my head around it, not just kind of bluster through and go, well, I'll change this value and see if anything works the way I want it to. Oops, daisies. And then it just kind of clicked. Using ChatGPT, help breaking down each individual part, really helped me figure out what it is that I was actually looking at. And then I went, you know what? I think it's time. We're making the Zenvo Wing, and it has been a lot of, so I'm probably going to add a little bit to this at some point to add in adjustable wing angle on the fly, because at the moment there's no way to just default have more. I have added 0.1 extra, which I believe is beam extra length, so I've added 10% basically by default, because this thing is just sketch. I've never really liked this Scintilla that much. Now it's cool. I still don't like it. It's still really, as I've just shown, hard to drive, especially for somebody like me who's kind of like plebeian. I'm no expert. There's nothing about me that really sets me apart. I just like to be really creative. That's what sets me apart, but nothing in terms of driving skill. In real life, it's very different. I have done drifting in real life, did a little bit of track stuff, messed up the setup on the car that I was doing for track stuff, and yeah, it just didn't turn out well for me. But drifting normal cars on the track, oh, that I was really good at and had a huge amount of fun. I used to go out to a place called Port Gawler go-kart track or something like that, I don't know, something like that, and they would hold like weekly Friday night, no, not Friday night, I think it was Wednesday night actually, like little open drift events at this go-kart track. And at the time, drifting wasn't hugely popular, so they were finding it hard to get the numbers, and cars are a lot harder on the bitumen track, so the track was getting completely destroyed by these things, so they shut it down eventually. Before drifting got really big, before Tokyo Drift came out, I was huge into watching Japanese shows about drifting, like Satir, the Drift King, all that sort of stuff, and definitely, oh god, Initial D. That was a big thing for me. I'm a big, massive weeb. But yeah, that was really cool. Though grip racing I've never really attempted, and that's something I'm going to try out on my IRL channel at some point. I've already done a little bit of road work to show you guys the car a little bit. I remember I was drifting out at Malalar once, which is a track I've talked about at least a few times, and I was on the backstretch. You're not really meant to drift around there, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna take this corner really aggressively. And that's the first time that I learned that I had no idea how to brake for a corner. I didn't realize that people had braking markers and they would, through skill, learn how to do it. I just thought, well, this is usually what I'd brake, and I was like 17, so yeah, I completely outbraked myself, ended up in the sand pit. The front bumper got destroyed as soon as it hit the sand, and I had to fiberglass it all back together. It was a big heaping pile of mess. But I've come a long way, and I gotta say, watching this wing flop about, I know it's not smooth. I wish I knew how to make it smooth, but I don't, so at the moment I'm just living with it. But it's cool to look at and just see it doing its thing. You know what, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an extended outro after I say thank you to my channel members. I stuck it in there. You thought you were gonna get away from that, didn't you? You know who I'm gonna specifically thank though? The Rogue Tick, the Crown Priest, who is, god damn it, a top tier channel member. For the rest of you, enjoy this outro where I'll try not to crash quite so much.